So we're hearing all this buzz about AI these days,
Yeah.
right? All the amazing things it's doing.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you wonder, like, how does that compare to, well, us?
Yeah.
Our own human intelligence. What makes us tick?
Yeah. Well, it is the question, isn't it? I mean, it's a question that's kind of always been there, but it feels a lot more urgent now with all the, rapid advances in AI. So that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. For this deep dive, we're tapping into a really informative article from TechTarget. It came out last October.
Okay.
Artificial intelligence versus human intelligence. Differences explained.
Pitching.
Straight to the point.
I like it, yeah. So no one's got to wade through, like, pages of tech jargon just to figure out what's going on, right?
Exactly.
So we're going to pull out the big stuff.
Yeah, the core stuff, the stuff that matters.
Exactly, to give you a clear picture of, like, okay, where do we humans really shine? And where does AI kind of take the lead?
Yeah, where's the sweet spot for each?
Yeah.
So let's start with intelligence itself, right? Like, what does that even mean?
Right.
The article reminds us that for thousands of years, like literally thousands of years,
Wow.
people have been trying to define human intelligence. And it's been a bit of a debate.
Right.
One classic view that the article points out is that human intelligence is, and I'm quoting here,
Sorry.
the biopsychological capacity to acquire and apply knowledge and skills.
So basically, our ability to learn and use what we learn, shaped by, both our biology and our minds.
Yeah, exactly. Nature and nurture all rolled into one.
Makes sense. But as the article points out, AI has really complicated things, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, especially in the last century. Really picked up steam in the last couple of decades.
Right. Suddenly machines are doing stuff that we thought was, like, exclusively human territory.
Exactly. And the article uses this great phrase. It talks about competition and uncertainty.
I like that.
Yeah, because it captures that feeling, right?
Yes.
Like, are machines becoming more like us?
Right.
Does that change what it means to be human? All those big questions.
It definitely raises those questions. And even if there are overlaps, I mean, I think there are clear differences, right?
Absolutely. The article is very clear about that.
Okay, good. So where does the article suggest we humans have the upper hand? Where do we excel?
Well, one big area is empathy, our ability to really understand and connect with other people's feelings.
Right. To really get where someone else is coming from.
Exactly. And that's something that, at least for now, AI systems struggle with.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. We've evolved as social beings.
Exactly. The article actually puts a number on it.
Oh, really?
At least 300,000 years as social animals, Homo sapiens, that's us, right?
That's us, yeah.
We've developed this incredible range of what the article calls interactive skills or social intelligence.
So it's more than just recognizing emotions. It's about that deeper level of engagement, right?
Absolutely. And the article gives some specific examples of where human intelligence really shines compared to AI. Things like judgment, that gut feeling we have.
Yeah.
Intuition, subtle communication, sarcasm, unspoken cues, things like that. And then, of course, imagination.
Okay, yeah, you can't program a hunch.
Right. And that's where AI hits a wall, at least for now.
Yeah, that deep understanding, that reading between the lines, it's a very human thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, but we got to give AI its due, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where does it outperform us?
Well, the article highlights a few key areas. AI, and specifically these things called machine learning algorithms, are really good at processing information, integrating new information. And what's really interesting is they can share that new knowledge with other AI models.
Right. It's like they're all on the same page instantly.
Exactly. It's almost instantaneous. And that's a big contrast to how we humans learn and share knowledge, which can be,
a lot slower.
a lot slower. Yeah.
More individual, more, I don't know, each person has their own pace.
Exactly. And then there's the whole thing about endurance.
Oh, right. AI never gets tired.
Never gets tired, never gets distracted. Machines can just keep going and going.
Well, they don't need coffee breaks.
No coffee breaks, no weekends, no vacations. They just process and operate 24/7.
Definitely a plus when you're dealing with, huge amounts of data that need constant analysis.
Exactly. And that's another area where AI excels, pattern recognition, especially with machine learning.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about that, how AI can spot patterns in, like, tons of data.
Yeah, like medical images to find tiny anomalies, or processing speech, or even in self-driving cars, navigating all those complex environments.
Right, finding those hidden trends that we might miss.
Exactly. And the article really digs into some fundamental differences in how these two forms of intelligence work.
Okay, let's get into that.
One really cool difference is learning efficiency.
Okay.
It's about one-shot versus multi-shot learning.
catchy names. Break those down for me.
Okay, so one-shot learning. That's something that humans are really good at.
Okay.
We can grasp a new concept or idea from just a few examples, sometimes even just one.
Really? Just one?
Yeah, the article uses this great example with leopards.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You show a human a couple of pictures of a leopard.
Okay.
And then you show them a bunch of other animals, and they can pick out the other leopards, no problem.
Right, like they just get it.
Exactly. We can generalize from just a little bit of data.
Huh. That's impressive.
It is. It suggests that we learn differently than AI. Maybe we're focusing on underlying structures or relationships rather than memorizing everything like AI currently does.
So it's about understanding the essence, not just the surface details.
Right. And that's a big area of research right now, trying to get AI to be more like that, more efficient.
Interesting. So what about AI? How does it learn?
Well, AI usually needs a lot more data. It's called multi-shot learning.
Multi-shot, so like a lot of shots.
A lot of shots, sometimes millions, billions of examples to learn something new.
Wow, that's a big difference.
It is, and the article points out that a lot of researchers see this as evidence that, in general, humans are much more efficient learners.
Okay, so we learn faster, but AI can handle way more data.
Exactly. Each has its strengths.
Got it. And what about this idea of imagination versus recitation? The article spends some time on that.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Okay, so what's the human imagination all about?
Well, the article draws on a bunch of different fields: psychology, philosophy, cognitive science.
The whole shebang.
Yeah, and it defines human imagination as the ability to form new ideas, mental sensations, concepts of things that aren't even real.
So like things that could be, or might have been, or could never be.
Exactly. It's the power to create something entirely new, something that's never existed before.
It's that spark of originality, that what-if thinking.
Exactly. And that's where AI, at least for now, falls short.
Okay, so what does AI do instead of imagining? The article says it recites.
Right. Recitation in this context means recalling information as it was given, like a computer retrieving data.
Okay, makes sense. Computers are great at that.
They are. And, we have these things now called generative AI.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about those. They can create new stuff, right? Like images or text.
Exactly, but they do it by kind of mashing up what they've learned.
Like those AI-generated images I've seen online where they combine different things into one picture.
Yeah, like taking parts of different cars and creating a whole new car design.
Right, so it's more like creative remixing.
Exactly. The article calls it synthetic recitation.
Synthetic recitation. Okay, so it's not true imagination. It's more like building on what's already there.
Right. It's not coming up with something truly original from scratch based on pure thought.
Okay, that's a subtle but important difference.
Absolutely.
Okay, the article talks about one more key difference: multisensory input and output.
Yeah, this is about our senses, how we take in information from the world around us.
Okay, so like sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell, all that.
Exactly. And the amazing thing is our brains can integrate all of that sensory information instantly.
Right. It all comes together to form our experience of reality.
And then we can react to all of that in complex ways.
We adapt, we make decisions, we express ourselves.
Exactly. And how does AI compare to that? Well, the article points out that AI systems are getting better at receiving input from multiple sources.
Okay, so like self-driving cars with all their sensors.
Exactly. They use radar, LiDAR, accelerometers, microphones, all kinds of things.
So they are taking in different types of information.
They are, and they often have multiple AI algorithms working together to interpret all of that data and make decisions.
So it's not just one AI doing everything, it's a team effort.
Right, but the key difference is that seamless integration and the complexity of the human response.
Right, for us it's just like natural how we experience the world.
Exactly. It's not compartmentalized like it is for AI, at least not yet.
Okay, so we've explored these fundamental differences. What about the future? The article touches on the potential for human-AI collaboration.
Yeah, this idea of human-AI teaming is getting a lot of attention.
So like working together.
Exactly, using the strengths of both humans and AI to tackle really complex problems.
So AI's processing power and pattern recognition combined with our empathy, judgment, creativity.
Exactly. The article even suggests that this kind of collaboration might be inevitable.
Really? Like it's the next logical step.
It might be, and the article says it could be our best hope, especially with all the global challenges we're facing.
Wow, so not replacement, but partnership.
Exactly, a synergy of intelligences.
Okay, so as we wrap up, what are the big takeaways here? What are the core differences between human and artificial intelligence that this TechTarget article really emphasizes?
I think it boils down to this. Humans are really good at empathy, social intelligence, one-shot learning, and imagination.
Okay, those are our superpowers.
Exactly. And AI is really good at processing massive amounts of data, endurance, multi-shot learning, and synthetic recitation.
So each has its own set of strengths.
Yeah.
And understanding those strengths is crucial, right?
Absolutely. It helps us see what each type of intelligence can and can't do, and it helps us make informed decisions about how to use AI ethically and effectively.
Right, so this isn't just about, like, geeking out over AI. It's about understanding the implications for our future.
Exactly.
Okay, on that note, I'm going to leave you with this thought.
Here.
Given these fundamental differences and the increasing push towards human-AI collaboration, what aspects of human intelligence do you think will be most crucial in navigating the future? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.